How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive my 800 horsepower Magnuson supercharged upgraded 6-speed manual CT5-V Blackwing from a first-person point of view. Under the hood is a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 that in stock form makes 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque. We've got an upgraded Magnuson supercharger as well as Cook's catless headers tuned by New Era Performance to 710 wheel horsepower. So if you take 15% drivetrain loss, it's about 830 horsepower. We are here at Streets of Willow about to track the car for the first time, but I wanted to talk about what it's like to own, what it's like to drive on the street, and what it's like to track. I have to say, one of my favorite parts about this car are the racing two-tone bucket seats. They are optional, but I think they are mandatory. They even have a massage button if you click it right here. If you follow me to the center console, they are heated and cooled as well. There is plenty of room in the back of the Blackwing for rear seat occupants. Everything's covered in Alcantara, from the backs of the seats to the door panels to even the roof as well. The exterior of my Blackwing is finished in electric blue. I'm in love with this color. We have the upgraded bronze wheels. We also have the upgraded $9,000 carbon ceramic brakes, which should be good for the track. We've wrapped them in new Hoosier Track Attack Pro tires. I've never tested these out before. They're super sticky, and I'm very excited to see how much grip these get out on the track. The only thing my car is missing is the carbon fiber 1 and 2 package. I bought this used, otherwise I would have spec'd it as such. So we are missing that carbon front splitter, side skirt, and wing, but don't worry, those are on the way. All right, let's hop in. Inside the Blackwing now, we have a nice Alcantara wrapped steering wheel. My favorite part of the car, 6-speed manual transmission. This thing is fantastic. Once again, those gorgeous bucket seats. I'm not a huge fan of this area here, but we'll get into that in a 5 things I hate about video. Fully customizable digital instrument cluster that can change based on the driving modes. Now, if we click this V button here, it'll put it into V mode, click it again, and it'll turn off traction control. There is a multi-stage traction control system that's toggled via this switch right here. We're gonna run it in race 2, the most aggressive, but you've got 7 stages of traction control and ESC off. Apparently, these ZR1 lap records were set in race 2. I talked to the professional drivers who did that. When they told me race 2, they set the records. Obviously, that's the mode to be in out on the track. Now, something I have never tested, which we will try today, is you can put an SD card in this slot right here, and if we scroll over, we can go to Performance Data Recorder. Turn this on. You can go to custom track. So right now, if you click relearn, I don't want to do that. It basically, when you go around the track, it relearns the start and the finish line. If you're doing autocross and it has a different start and finish line, you can set that up as well, but you can select pre-saved tracks like Coda. And then if you go to video overlay, you can go ahead and do different screen overlays for the recording. If we preview that there, you can see we've got the RPM counter, G-force meter, what gear we're in, the speed, etc., which is pretty darn cool. So let's go ahead and take this out on the road first to see what it's like to drive on the street, and then we'll take it out on Streets of Willow that has been freshly repaved and recreated, and see what this thing is like out on track. Well, I can't think of a better place for driving the Blackwing with the supercharger POV style for the first time than the Snake. I can't believe this. This is my favorite road of all time, and back in 2018, they shut it down after the Malibu fires. And for the first time in 7 years, it is finally open. And we can test out these brand new tires and supercharger setup. First gear is so tall in this car, you can honestly run most of this in first. So we are in race 2 mode, which has a teeny bit of forgiveness, but not much. But what I will say is, this car runs like OEM Plus. The Magnuson supercharger is so linear, and despite having 710 horsepower, which to the wheels is a lot, honestly, it's pretty controllable. And with these awesome tires, there's just so much grip. It is a big and fast car for this road, I will say. Oh my God. So I've got 7,300 miles on this car now. I can't believe it. I have put so many miles on this car so quickly. I took it to SEMA, drove it back in one day to drop my girlfriend off, and then drove back again to Las Vegas. So I did like an 11-hour drive straight. And you can put it into comfort mode. So if we take it out of V mode, because we're stuck behind this frickin' Toyota Sienna, and put the massaging seats on, you could just cruise in this thing for hours, and it's just so nice. And then you put it back into V mode, and hopefully this guy gets out of the way, and you can absolutely haul. Well, I've been stuck behind the Sienna for far too long, but this guy legitimately saved me. CHP was coming the opposite direction. That is the one problem with the Snake. It's so legendary that it attracts an enormous crowd, and within one day, I went yesterday, which was the grand opening, so to speak, it's already getting kind of overrun. But let's get back to the Blackwing, and then we'll hop out on track at Streets of Willow. I am in love with this car. It legitimately is the best sports sedan of all time. And honestly, previously, I thought that the E39 M5 would hold that title for forever. But this is just absolutely magical. The speed, the refinement, and then the luxury when you need it. When you take it out of sport mode or track mode and then you put it into comfort mode, it's just so comfortable over bumps. That's thanks to the magneto-areological dampers. The brakes are fantastic. I've got the upgraded carbon ceramic, so those should be good on the track for reducing brake fade. But man, this thing has just been an absolute dream. I reviewed one a couple years ago, and I loved it so much, I thought I need to buy this immediately, but I never actually got a chance to drive a manual CT5-V Blackwing, just the CT4-V Blackwing, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a leap of faith, see what it's like. I bought the car, and I'm absolutely blown away. It's been incredible. I paid $95,000 for it with 800 miles on the car. My thought process was save a bit of money over a new one and then spend the rest of the money on modifications. So as you can see here, we are in the sport display. I normally run it in track mode, but because we're gonna be out on the track later in this video, I wanted to kind of differentiate it with that sport mode display. But man, I am in love with this car. All right, time to get out on track and show you what this thing is like for my first ever track day in the Blackwing. All right, here we go. About to go out on track in the CT5-V Blackwing. We'll do a handful of slower laps so I can talk you through what the handling is like and what this thing is actually like to experience out on track. And then I'll be quiet and I'll let you listen to it. Just pure supercharged V8 going full tilt on Streets of Willow. I've only been here once before and they've changed the layout a little bit. And they've updated it, so it looks really, really nice. I'm excited to see what this is like. Traction control in race 2. So hopefully you can hear me. Unfortunately, we do have to keep the windows down for safety reasons. But let's go ahead and see what this thing is like out on the track for the first time. Man, the instantaneous throttle response of that Magnuson supercharger is so good. And man, the grip from these Hoosier tires is staggering. Let's go. It came on PS4S's, and these have a whole nother level of grip to them. Get some heat in the tires going. Look how pretty this track is now. The 6-speed manual is so nice to drive. Got a little chicane put in here instead of the straightaway. Makes the track a little bit slower than I'm used to. Oh, it's so good. And race 2 is the perfect setting. Allows you to get tail happy but not completely lose it. This is a deceivingly slow corner actually, especially in a bigger car. All right, here we go. Start recording. The steering feel is so nice. I mean, leagues beyond the E63 or the M5, which is probably my favorite part of the car, other than the fact that it comes in a manual, is the steering feel is so good. And the magneto-iriological dampers just absolutely keep this thing so planted with limited body roll. What a car. What a machine this thing is. All right, now time for some uninterrupted laps. Crazy! That thing is sick. I cannot hold on. yes, how about a little tunnel run, shall we? Make sure we're in the right mode. Downshift, downshift. Oh, that's so good.